All right, now to be completely honest, I never thought I would be doing a Charlie Brown video on this channel. I mean, maybe if I did like a top five Christmas movies I would watch in December, or top five Halloween movies in October. Obviously, like the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and a Charlie Brown Christmas, they would probably be on those lists, but I have actually, I got back to my apartment on what's today? Sunday, Saturday. So I got back on Saturday after a couple days home for Thanksgiving. I'm doing a Thanksgiving video, so be on the lookout for that. But I saw news reports and whatnot about how allegedly critics are talking about how a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving is supposedly racist because of how the character of Franklin was treated in the special. I remember seeing a meme about this, maybe 2015, 2016. A meme circulated, and no, I know there are some friends of mine who are probably watching this video who know I love memes, and I'm just going to say I was not the one to make the meme because, to be honest, I never thought of this before. The meme was, the picture of the Thanksgiving dinner, if you want to call it that. And, Linus is giving a speech, just talking about the history of Thanksgiving and whatnot. And you see all the characters kind of, sitting at the table. But one thing of note is the fact that I believe that Linus was at the head of the table, hence he was giving the speech. Then on the right side of the table, you have, I don't know the exact order, but I know it was Charlie Brown, Snoopy, Lucy, Peppermint Patty, and Marcy, if memory serves. And then on the opposite side, I believe the left side, by himself, is Franklin by himself. And not only that, he has a rickety lawn chair. And you're probably wondering, well, Jeremy, how do you know that it's a rickety lawn chair? Because I remember like a 2 to 3 minute segment where Snoopy is trying to get the lawn chair to cooperate. And I believe the song in the background is like, "Little birdie, why do you fly upside down?" Honestly, that's one of my favorite segments of the film because Snoopy is actually fighting the chair. He's fighting the chair. And I think, Franklin has a couple of mishaps with the chair himself. But honestly, let me just put it this way. I was born in 91, so obviously this special was made before my time, but to me it's a classic. I watched the holiday special without any, oh man, this is racist because Franklin. Let me just put it this way. I don't think that I've ever heard Franklin speak in a Charlie Brown special except for one or two of them, and that's saying something. I remember there was a VHS. Yeah, I'm going back. VHS. My mom had, it was the best of Chris Rock on SNL. I actually have the DVD now, and I bought that a few years ago. And there was a segment, how it's kind of like the news, where one of the cast members or even the special guest on the episode of Saturday Night Live will do like a news segment, and Chris Rock was doing the segment talking about the injustice of Charlie Brown, how Snoopy isn't Franklin isn't invited to any of the parties, but people like Pigpen and the dog freaking Snoopy's invited, but not Franklin. And even more so, Franklin might be in the special or an episode, but he never gets a line. And I'm like, yo, I mean, I went back and rewatched the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. I don't think that Franklin has one line of dialogue. The closest thing to dialogue is towards the end of the special, where Charlie Brown's grandmother said that, he and his friends can come over to her house. I believe later Charlie Brown said it was a condominium, that they can all come over for a real Thanksgiving dinner. Because remember, Peppermint Patty invited herself over to the dinner, and it was nothing but toast, popcorn, jelly beans, and a pretzel stick. And when Charlie Brown said that everybody was invited to his grandmother's, everybody started cheering. And that was the only time, we actually saw Franklin's mouth open for dialogue. And I don't even call it dialogue because everyone in that scene was screaming. So if you want to talk races, my man got his own side of the table, which honestly, I'm the kind of person, I don't mind the extra arm space. There's nothing worse than sitting beside somebody at like a dinner table And like I'm right-handed, so if somebody is left-handed, then you have to deal with the conflict of bumping arms and whatnot when you're trying to put the fork to your mouth and all that crap. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I never thought about the racist thing about him being on the table, on the other side of the table by himself in the rickety lawn chair. But I've always chuckled to myself about the whole aspect of him not having any dialogue. Now, I know there were a couple of specials where he did have dialogue. I think it was one, it was something, it was like one of the more recent specials. I remember when I was in like middle school or high school, it was the one where Charlie Brown actually won at marbles. I think Franklin had a line of dialogue in that, but that was about it. But yeah, overall, when I look at, a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, I think that's what it's called. I don't think it's like it's Thanksgiving Charlie Brown, but just call it this. It's the November Charlie Brown special. I never really thought of it as racist. To me, it's a classic. I watch it every November. I don't really pinpoint, oh man, that's racist, or that's abuse that the dog is making dinner and stuff. No, I look at the cartoon for a good time, but we live in a day and age where people will just nitpick at everything to find something to be offended by. So if you're offended by a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving and what they do to Franklin, come on now, grow up. I mean, you ain't gotta watch it. I ain't telling you what to watch. I just know I'm still going to watch it every November, and I'm going to leave it at that. I mean, what are you going to do now? Are you going to talk about, I'm waiting for somebody, December is only in, December, yeah, it's next Saturday, or this Saturday. I'm going to keep my eyes open for some kind of article or news report talking about how Charlie Brown Christmas is going to be, oh, that's, about Christianity because Linus quotes the Bible. I'm pretty sure that argument has already been made, but, it wouldn't surprise me back to back. Or if somebody said anything about the Great Pumpkin being, some sort of religion or cult because it's a pumpkin. I don't know. People will just find the dumbest things to complain about. So if you're offended by Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, don't watch it. If you're like me, you're going to watch it every year because it's a classic. My man Franklin did his thing. At least he was invited. Well, technically, he wasn't invited. It was more like Peppermint Patty invited herself over to Charlie Brown's house for a dinner he never even said he was having. And then by extension, she invited Marcy, they then invited Franklin. So, the fact that he was invited, hey, whatever. That's good. But let me know your thoughts on this news report in the comment section below. The fact that it made news is just... oh gosh, whatever. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, folks. Let me know your thoughts on this topic, and I'll talk to you all soon.